So if you read back to the title of this video, it is ironically the #1 reason why people fail in the business of trading, and in fact in the business of anything. They are looking for that one video that will show them the A+B=C method that will allow them to make money at will, and it will make all their problems disappear somehow. Everyone's done it, flicked through a YouTube video or watched the first few minutes, then decided, nope, cancel this video, this guy isn't giving me the clear A+B method that will make me money. Next video. And repeat, nope, this video also isn't giving me the clear A+B method that will make me money. And repeat, next video, next video, next video. Before you know it, you've wasted 1 or 2 years of your life, maybe more, flicking through these videos, and you're no further forward than you were when you started at the very beginning. Eventually, hopefully you realize, if you haven't already, that one video, it doesn't exist. Now the problem you have is that you are your own worst enemy. The more desperate you are to succeed, the harder you are making it for yourself. Maybe you want to break free from the 9 to 5, or you want to provide for your family. In your mind, you're thinking, time is not on my side, I need this right now. So you get increasingly desperate to find the instant solution. That is why you are consuming so many videos looking for that holy grail A+B=C method that will solve all your problems. All you're doing is wasting your time when you could be using it much more wisely, focusing on one approach that, yes, might take you some time to master, but once you do master it, it will pay back all the time you dedicated to it tenfold, 100-fold, or even more. I know I've experienced this myself. I consistently make money from trading, typically on a monthly basis, and it pays my bills, but it wasn't always that way. Even when I started working in one of the biggest investment banks in the world, my first period of time there was a massive struggle. My job was to build relationships with huge investors like hedge funds or central banks and convince them to take their trades with us. But at the beginning, no one took me seriously. In fact, I'll tell you a true story, one that you will be able to relate to. So when I first started out, I remember being fortunate enough to be invited to go on some of these meetings with these large institutions with other senior people from the bank. So to put it in context, my boss and I would take the train from Canary Wharf, London, and travel to Green Park, for example, where some of these large hedge funds were based. We'd go to these amazing offices, but my boss, he'd do all the talking in the meeting. I was pretty much silent most of the time, and if I did say anything, I was completely ignored. In fact, I remember thinking to myself, how on earth am I ever going to make it in this business? This is impossible. No one takes me seriously, and my knowledge is also, quite frankly, pathetic compared to all these people around me. Thankfully, I realized the answer was not going to be found by watching and skipping through videos on social media looking for that A+B=C method. I realized by looking at the evidence in front of me that the answer was right in front of my eyes. I had other senior people who had a proven track record of building relationships with institutions, and clearly I needed to sponge as much as I could from them. That was going to take time and a lot of effort, but I knew the time would eventually pay off. So I came up with a plan to approach as many senior people as I could in the bank and A, either ask as many questions as I could, or B, even better, ask if I could join them in any future meetings with these institutions. In fact, just to give them a level of comfort, I wasn't going to stuff up any of these meetings. I even told them I will stay silent and just observed, so no risk to take me with them. My point is, I recognized the answer to success wasn't going to be in any video or book. It was going to be in following and learning from other people who had proven success, even if that meant I had to slog my guts off for a couple of years and potentially even stay silent in the background. Now the funny thing is, who hasn't gone through this? I said you'll be able to relate to this example because you experienced this in your own career or workplace or job. How many times have you started a new job and thought, oh my God, I'm never going to get this? Do you then go on social media and start flicking through videos, skipping through them, trying to find the A+B=C solution to your problems at work? No, that's ridiculous. Of course you don't. You do what I did. You try and sponge as much information from more experienced people at your workplace. Why? Because they have proven that the methods or approach they are using works and has brought them success. You know, it might take you a couple of years to emulate them or copy them, but you don't mind doing it because it makes the most sense to do that. So why, if it makes the most sense to do that, when it comes to trading, does everyone do the complete opposite? It is complete self-sabotage and insanity. That is why I said you are your own worst enemy. If you want to succeed in trading, you already know what you need to do because you're already doing it or have done it in your own day job or career. You know, did you get successful in your own career or job by flicking through videos looking for the holy grail? No, you seek out people who have worked at the highest level and have employed methods that are not only proven to work but also make sense. When you take a step back and actually look at something in the cold light of day, if it doesn't make any sense, then why would you use it? You know, when we look at the majority of retail trading methods, for example, not only are they completely lacking in any evidence they work, but when you get out of that desperate mindset we spoke about earlier, that mindset of being desperate to make money to resolve your problems, when you get out of that mindset for a moment and actually brutally look at what people are doing in the retail trading sector, it actually doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, let me flip this on you. Who cares what I am saying? It's irrelevant. I want you to really test yourself and conclude what the right path is for yourself. It doesn't matter what I say after all. You are ultimately responsible for your own destiny. So let's look at a method like a trend line. I've nothing against it. On the face of it, it actually seems reasonable, especially if you have never spent any time thinking deeper about what it is you are actually using it to represent. However, when you actually spend 2 or 3 minutes thinking about it objectively, does it really seem plausible that the net demand or supply of a $5 trillion a day market, that's trillion with a T, can somehow be explained by joining 2 dots together? If we go one step further, if you ask your little niece or nephew to go on your chart and draw a trend line, my guess is they could probably do a better job than all of us put together. So again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to get you to just question a little what you are looking at before you dedicate a large part of your life to it. Now, as many of you know, I look at order flow. So I look at the raw data, the raw transactions that are taking place in the market every day. I then take time to analyze that interaction to see if there are any clues, if one set of participants might be stronger than another, thus enabling me to take a high probability trade. Is that something my little niece or nephew could do? Probably not. And it also helps that this is what institutions where I was working were also looking at. So I had strong evidence it worked, as they were making insane amounts of money doing it. So to conclude, this video is much more powerful than any single video that claims to make you profitable with an A plus B equals C method. This video is actually setting the very foundations for you to be successful in your trading, because what I'm saying to you is that if you really want to go from being a beginner to a pro in one video, you need to forget about the process of trading completely for a moment and really ask yourself if you are really ready to even become a trader. So let's spend the last 2 minutes with a checklist to test that hypothesis or question. Are you actually ready to become a trader? So answer the following 3 basic questions to yourself. Question 1, are you willing to set aside 12 to 24 months minimum? As we already established, you'd have to do in any other career, including your own job, if you really wanted to get to the next level. You know, trading is no different. If you're not willing to do that, that means you're just jumping from video to video looking for that instant success method, and then maybe this isn't the right time for you. If you said yes, great, but that's not enough. Then there is no point setting aside time if you're looking at the wrong thing, which leads us to question 2. Does the method you've decided to pursue make sense? We already gave an example earlier. Does it pass the little niece or nephew test? My guess is the majority of the stuff you're looking at does not pass that test. Are you really therefore willing to dedicate 1, 2, 3, maybe more years of your life to something like that? Hopefully not. Finally, question 3, is the person you are following credible? Have they worked in a proven institution? Do they trade for a living and have results? If not, it makes no sense. It's like turning up on day 1 at a new job. You know, to get to the top, you're going to have to learn from the very best in your own workplace, people that have already proven success in your own line of work. But despite the obvious fact, imagine you start going outside of your own workplace where you already have proven successful people. Instead, you start seeking out people from elsewhere on social media, for example, by skipping through video after video. You wouldn't do that in your own job because you'd end up down a very slippery slope, a slope that will result in you wasting many years of your life. So it would make sense not to do that in trading. Would you agree? But rather to do it properly from the start. A, accept this is going to take at least 1 to 2 years. B, accept the method you employ has to make sense. Perhaps something like order flow, which requires some critical thinking but is very doable. And C, surround yourself and learn from people who apply those methods that make sense, or at the very least have some proven experience of success at a higher level. A, B, C. Commit yourself to those 3 things and you've instantly in one video gone from beginner to pro. If you found that useful, check out this video on screen right now for more professional trading insights.